Hello and welcome to my first impressions video of Bloodlust Nemesis. I have played the previous Bloodlust title. This is an indie game developer that makes these kind of vampire games. And these are both of them. Both Bloodlust titles are RPGs and they're also dungeon crawlers, which means that at one point in the game you run into a very deep dungeon. At least that is how the first one worked. I don't know much about the second one because I never played it, I never investigated it, so this is gonna be me going through it for the first time and just cutting out the important highlighty bits for you to look in a row to make a coherent video. For my review of this game, because I will be putting that out kind of bit later as well, I will want to get through more of the game to get a better impression. For my first impressions video, I'm planning on playing this game for about 1 or 2 hours. I don't remember much about the customization of the character creator in the previous game, but this is what it is currently. It has clans that influence your powers a bit. Apparently it gives you plus reputation with the clan that you select. It has hairstyle, it has hair colors, skin tone, lipstick color, eyeshadow, tattoo, and you have your stats and your class. That is how the customization in this game works. Okay, one thing that I noticed is that if you mouse over the attributes, they tell you exactly what they are, which I kinda like. In the character creator, one thing that I don't like is the fact that you can't zoom in on the face, because otherwise I will be able to figure out what I'm doing with the eyeshadow a tiny bit more, because look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, four eyeshadows that are very similar, and it's kind of hard for me to tell the difference. Okay, you can actually play this game single player or multiplayer, so it seems, but you have to be level 2 or higher to enter a multiplayer game. Now, this is quite interesting. The game seems to be using Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines system and a tab targeting system at the same time, so you can scroll through abilities and use them with right mouse click, or you can press 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on and so forth. I would at least assume that you can, because that's what that bar down below there is, I think. I hope. So according to the game, I am undead and I'm told to go and find Varric. I think that the game is continuing from where the story has left in the previous game, but I never finished the story in the previous game, so I'm a bit clueless.
Go through the sewers.
I have been able to figure out how to operate the inventory, seems to be pretty fine. It's press Y to open. Very regular MMO-y stuff, if you ask me. And I have 2 weapon slots that I can switch in between. The game just told me to beware of the Wraith because I do not own the body that I am in. From normal RPG perspective, the voice acting so far is alright. The game itself is janky and not as pretty as you would expect from a 2020 game. If this was a AAA developer, for a indie developer, I'm fine to discard that. One of my abilities seem to do with secret finding, and the game tells me exactly how to operate this in the tutorial and how to bypass the puzzle that they presented me with. I assume that is because it's not too obvious for new players. Now, one thing that I'm kinda weirded out. Okay, some items you cannot equip or use because of your gender. One thing I'm slightly weirded out is that the pickup for items is very unprecise. Instead of picking up what you're pointing at, it will just pick up whatever you're closest to. Okay, so the game has a very... I know I say too much okay, shush! The game has a very interesting system where do you see this little tiny icon over here saying 87%? How much blood you have drunk will influence how far can your health regenerate. Which means that you want to be close to 100%. The bite is an ability that you perform with right mouse button, the same as all other abilities, and if you keep it on for too long, you will kill the victim or accidentally turn them into a vampire, depending how well you leveled your bite. That is most definitely a unique mechanic if I ever seen one. I just killed 2 enemies. The combat seemed to be pretty basic. I honestly don't mind it. So far, I am enjoying the look and the feel of the game. It wouldn't be that surprising to me. I kind of enjoyed the second one, the first one, except that I ran into some bugs and a little bit of issues further down and kind of got bored of the dungeon crawling. But this one, as far as combat goes, besides the fact that that's very simplistic, seems fairly responsive. There seems to be no way to save manually. It's only automatic saving. And I haven't figured out how to trigger it, but me going to a main menu and exiting it made a saving Murta sort of thing. There we go. Every single time when I go to the main menu, it seems that it saves and then me coming back to the game just like continues it. So I would just assume that whenever you want to quit, as long as you go to the main menu, the game's gonna save.
Beware.
Okay, if you die, the game takes away some of your XP. Magic in this game is kind of funny. Just kind of point your nose somewhere and press the button. Oh yeah, the story definitely ties into the first game.
In about 10 days, you're going to be greeted with over 9,000 undead.
So far, the game told me to get an interrogation skill. I've met guards that I cannot hurt. These guards I can. The guards right outside this area, I couldn't. And I have sired myself a minion. She just kind of follows me and looks at everything very scarily and intimidatingly. If I was not me, I wouldn't want to meet me. I found a merchant, and you kinda right click on stuff to sell it to them.
That's garbage. I wouldn't give you a...
And they're not interested in absolutely everything that you have, just specific things. I have noticed that the only way I can explode a barrel with a bomb is if I use my physical weapons. I haven't tried it with the vampire disarm ability, but I tried with the fireball and that did nothing. Nope, that does nothing. So the only way to get stuff in these barrels is to literally explode the barrel, I think. I have just lost XP because my minion over here decided to go and attack a random innocent person. Then she went ahead and destroyed a dog that I haven't even seen coming. Well, so far, I am in level 2 of the dungeon that I encountered. The game told me to intimidate some guards, but unfortunately, I think I killed all the guards before I had a chance to intimidate them, so we're gonna see. I feel like my companion is more of a hindrance than help, really. So I haven't summoned them to the current floor. You use pits to go down a floor. There's no real way to go back up until you... Okay, that is not a guard. That's a snatcher. Not a game. There's no way to go back up a floor until you find the fast travel point or something like that to return, so you're kind of doomed to just continue. Oh. I found an exit point! But yeah, until you find an exit point, you're kind of doomed to just continue your dungeoneering experience. And this was the majority of the game of the first game as well. I gotta say, that's the point that I don't enjoy that much. I really enjoyed the quests of the first game. I don't enjoy having to dungeoneer, so it makes a pretty weird experience, if you ask me. I have found the secret passage to nothing that leads to a mixed alchemy table, and I have no idea how to use alchemy just yet. And any enemy that's over level 2, I seem to have a bit of an issue killing, which the game tells me means that my weapon is too weak, which I am not surprised.
Admit it, but those hunters are getting strong.
Killed the Emperor. Are you sure? Some freaky stuff.
It's okay. We got...
Not that blood. Can you see what that stuff did to Sancho?
Also, now that I'm level 5, I am dropping currency upon death. I am having a lot of issues trying to intimidate these guards. I'm gonna provide footage for at least one of my intimidation effects, just so that you can see what is happening. Maybe I'm supposed to be using this skill without them seeing me, but need to talk with your leader. Where is he?
Usually has an office on floor 5. Sometimes it's lower. You have to find it.
Well, so far I am now on level 3. My next quest is on level 5 of this dungeon. The last game when I played took a longer time to just like send you into an endless dungeon. Combat is practically one button click, otherwise you can go away and throw a weird fireball from your face slash ass slash wherever you're sending the fireball from. I find it that if they can get a hit on you, the enemies I mean, and they can very easily kill you, they can't if they can't. The combat system is rather simplistic. The leveling is fun, but the combat system is rather simplistic. I feel like I should have put health potions somewhere here, honestly.
You're growing stronger. You do not have enough health force.
Sorry, I kinda got engaged. Yay! No, wait, not yay. That's a henchman. That's not my Wendy. Wendy, can you respawn, please? Yes, you can. I didn't figure out how to give my companion's items. And I feel like I am saving my own too much because I don't want to drink health potions and restore my health or anything. But yes, immediately the game is like, hey, do a very long dungeon crawl. Which is fine if you enjoy that sort of thing, but for me,
Don't have enough spirit.
in this game, the combat system is just not the strong bit. It might be that I leveled wrong, it might be the fact that I got all items being higher level than what I can equip right now. It might be all of that, but for me, combat is really not the strong suit of the games. Just for my first hour of playing, I enjoy the atmosphere. I feel like I would honestly enjoy the story quite a bit. I cannot say my final verdict, which is why this is not a review, this is a first impressions video, until I've gone through more of the game. But I feel like this one is even more of a dungeon crawler than the previous game. And that's kind of problematic for me, because once again, the combat is not the strong suit of the game, the atmosphere is. A level up is fairly interesting system where you have a sire tree, you have points to assign. So let's say we're gonna do 3 more dexterity and a couple more charisma because we want to be a mage, want to be a witch, okay? Then you can buy abilities here. This is the full tree of abilities. There isn't like infinite, but there's a few. And then you use your talent points and buy points in the talent tree. And some of these things you can buy multiple times around. Then of course you have the gear system, and my oh my, are the drops plentiful in this game. You get headgear, you get items here. Actually, can I see that on me? Hard to tell. Yeah, I think I am wearing goggles, so yes, gear does change the appearance of your character. You have weapons. Yes, I would like to equip that. You have sockets for your feet, and honestly, I feel like the gear is tiny bit too plentiful if you ask me, because it clutters your inventory very fast, and the merchant doesn't want absolutely everything, and most of this is things that you just can't really equip because you don't have the right stats. The loot is very random. In my opinion, it might do better if it was a tiny bit less random, or if you got less stuff in general. Really, for me, it's a bit overwhelming, but so far, that is how it has been. Do I have any identification scrolls on me? I don't know. I honestly don't know. This is a bit of a door to navigate. That's a maggot. That's an identification scroll. Now that I had some time to think, I do like the leveling system, the minigames, the character customization and voice acting. I'm intrigued by the story, even though you seem to need to understand the previous one to fully get it. I feel like the game's weak point is combat, and as it really is a mashing sort of deal. Really odd for a game like this to focus on primarily combat and dungeoneering. I feel like there's too much loot and it's too random. Plus, as the vendor won't buy absolutely everything, it is hard to get rid of it. At least right now, 1 hour into the game. I also feel like I need my followers, as without them I don't do enough damage, but they're also as dumb as a rock and will sometimes accidentally kill other people. I'm yet to figure out if I recommend or not recommend this game. It has the weird sort of jank that hits close to home together with a good atmosphere. This has been my first impressions. We'll update you further with a full review later. Murta out.